Well, as global trade relations have become rocky over the past few months, many economies are investing in their independence from certain partners, including the European Union. Lars Holter, who's with DW, now joins me from Berlin. Lars, what is the EU planning? What more can you tell us?
Thanks for having me. Well, the latest program Brussels has come out with is called Resource EU. The 27-nation bloc wants to be more independent with regards to critical resources. Then again, independent is a big word. Let's say the EU wants to be less dependent on China, because that's really what this is all about. And it's really all the EU can achieve. After all, with regards to many critical resources, they are simply not available within the European Union. So a total independence is not attainable at all. But instead of almost exclusively working with China, as the EU has long done, the bloc is now eager to strengthen its partnerships with Australia, Canada, Chile, Greenland, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan and Ukraine. Apparently, according to EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, they are, quote, focusing on everything. And that means from investment in mines and gaining these resources to investment in the value chain and building up refining capacities in the European Union.
Well, this sounds like a major investment, Lars. What's started all this all of a sudden?
Well, you can directly link this to the current global trade troubles. And while they might have started in the United States, with President Donald Trump starting an all-out trade war with large parts of the world and levying tariffs and banning certain imports and exports, the EU is, in this case, reacting to China's reaction to Trump's action. I know it sounds a bit complicated, but it's really not. The US has been targeting Beijing with its trade war, banning exports of certain products to China. And China has retaliated with, for example, banning the export of rare earth elements, but not only to the United States, but also to the EU. And suddenly both the US and the EU are finding themselves on the receiving end of this battle. And the EU has realized that such dependence on China for materials our economy desperately needs and has no alternative for, that's just not a good thing. So instead of banking too much on one supplier like China, they're broadening their base, hopefully preventing supply shortages in future.
Well, also, Lars, are there any ways to invest in resources within the EU or even in Germany where you are?
Yes, there are options, although, of course, it depends on the resources. There are no rare earth elements here, or at least no deposits worth mining, because it's expensive and there's just not a lot of it. But looking at what is currently one of the biggest challenges for Germany and the EU, the energy transition, there are other resources like copper, where the industry says that a lot more can be done. I've just heard from the CEO of a major German mining company that they hope to expand their copper mining in Germany. He says there's vast resources and they can also be exploited. So there are definitely options within the country here or within the European Union for that matter, but not for all we need. And thus it's great to diversify partnerships for now.
Lars Holter in Berlin, thanks very much.